What's going on, everybody? It's me, Brett Parker from Dissect That Film, and today I am starting a brand new series in collaboration to a degree with another amazing podcast called Vintage Video, where they go through every year of the 80s and go through every single film so we don't have to. And you know what? I decided, since they are starting a brand new season over there, they're starting 1982. And so I figured I'm going to try something. I'm going to try a challenge. I created my own little challenge in collaboration with Vintage Video, where I am going to watch every film that they cover in 1982, and I am going to cover it on our show. I'm going to do little reviews on them and tie it in with their episodes, and we're going to have a cool little collab. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So why don't you join me, as this will be a YouTube and TikTok exclusive series. So let's strap in. Today we are talking about 1982's Island of Blood. Now, this is a movie that I had never heard of before. It was directed by William Nod, and it is a kind of whodunit type of movie where there are a bunch of actors that brought to this island with no phones and no communication to the outside world. They are making a very micro-budgeted movie, which, to be honest, this movie feels as micro-budgeted as the movie that they are trying to make, which is absolutely insane. And one by one, they slowly get taken out. Now, this is the first movie of this series, and also it is my first watch of 2024. And I have to say, it is probably going to be on par with one of my least favorite films I have watched in 2024, and I've only watched this one, which is just saying a lot for how just forgettable and just boring this movie was. This was a movie that really brought in a bunch of nobodies, and I respect it because I've seen a lot of micro-budgeted and different type of movies where you bring in people like that and you can make a fun movie. Now, this movie just wasn't fun. There's a lot of unlikable characters. There are just super dark scenes. You know, I watched this on Tubi. It was a VHS rip. This movie is dark. I have seen some dark movies, but there are times in this movie where I am squinting to try to see what the hell is happening on the screen. And just, there are points in this movie where you're just like, what is going on? I don't know who is who. I don't know what is going on. And then by the end, you just kind of don't care. It has a fun little twist, which I'll let you know. This movie is 40 years old, over 40 years old. It has a fun little twist at the end, which kind of gives it 1 star for me. And overall, this is a movie that just is very uninspiring and just kind of thrown into that kind of generic slasher pile. You know, it came out in 1982, so this is a movie that kind of was in the beginning of the slasher period. You know, you had Halloween, you had slashers before it, but this was something, they were trying to do something different. The performances are just uninspiring and just boring. I will give it credit for the kills. Some of the kills are really cool. I think the effects are pretty good for probably the $25 in a bag of Doritos that it cost to make this movie. And overall, I will never see this movie again. And it's just not great. It's just not great. And so pretty much to go about it, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 stars, just for the sheer fact that the kills were cool and really decent effects. And the twist at the end was kind of like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't really see that happening, but I think it was one of those moments where you see you see a character and then you think like the character's gone and then the character comes back and you're like, oh, why? But, you know, overall, this movie is just not good. And I'm kind of nervous on how 1982 is gonna continue to go. There's a lot of movies in this series, and I'm very excited to listen to what Vintage Video's got going on over there with this episode. So yeah, 2 out of 5 stars for Island of Blood. And make sure to go listen to Vintage Video Podcast and their episode on Island of Blood, their very first episode of their 1982 season. And make sure to listen to that podcast. Make sure to come back and listen to more of my episodes on the movies they are going to be covering. And make sure to listen to our show, Dissect That Film, wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate you. And let's watch more movies. Bye.